We stressed it from day one in the offseason. We'll continue to stress it to the end of the season. Fundamentals is what leads you to victory. You can't let them slack. Scheme is secondary. Fundamentals is primary. And that's what we're going to be all about.
What do you want to see out of Drew Lock over the next couple of weeks?
Improvement in all areas. Command of the offense, command of the line of scrimmage, decisions on where to throw the ball, how quickly you can make those decisions, everything. Just become a quarterback. Good. You know, I didn't study him every play out there. I'll do that when I go in, but I thought he was good. She's obviously in good shape and ready to go.
Cortland Sutton had a couple of drops. He seemed to be frustrated. Is there any advice you can give to a young player on his first day just to keep his spirits up?
No, I kind of ride him and tease him a little bit, so I'll take advantage of that.
See much of Lindsay, and what do you think of his
He looked good. He looks good. You know, looked about like I thought he would, or about like I hoped he would, is probably a better phrase. But again, he had a wrist injury, an unusual wrist injury, so he had his legs, so probably shouldn't be surprised. But he was chomping at the bit to get out there.
Does he have any limitations now?
I don't think so.
What about Emmanuel? I mean, you're easing him back.
Yeah, we're gonna ease him back in. You know, I don't remember the exact date, but when was it? Late November, early December? When was it?
early December?
Early December. You know, so I don't know. Do the math for me quickly, somebody. That's 8 months ago. You know, he's doing really good. And he's not on PUP, so it's going to be day to day with him how much we add onto his plate, and we're just going to build to it and see how it goes.
Fumagalli got a lot of reps there, it seemed. What do you like about what he does for you?
He's versatile. You know, he can play in line. He's shown in the offseason that he's got some receiving ability, and I think our quarterbacks are comfortable throwing to him. So, again, it's all early, no pads yet, but he's doing fine.
What are the things that stand out to you most about Flacco as the guy that you do?
Joe's got a calm demeanor about him, and but he's still a fiery competitor, you know. But I think Joe's at times in his career, you know, he's got that calm demeanor about him, and when things are going good, you know, it's Joe cool. And if things aren't going good, well, Joe doesn't care that much, or he's not getting fired up. So that's how Joe is, okay? But Joe's a competitor. He leads through example. He's not going to be a guy that loses his emotions, but trust me, inside his brain and belly, it's churning for him.
Do you think guys handled the heat okay?
Yeah, the Heat won bad. Got to remember, I spent 9 years in New Orleans, some in South Carolina and Houston. They'd pray for a day like this.
Coach, your first message to the team last night?
You know, just continuing what we've been doing. And the rest of it, I'll just keep it in there.
What did you see from Noah Fant?
I didn't see him a lot. You know, my eyes didn't seem to pick him up a lot during practice, but I'll check the tape. But I'll be disappointed if I don't like what I see. But I think Noah's going to be a good player, and just a matter of how fast that happens.
Like a young quarterback, and important as that spot is, what you guys tell a guy like Drew Lock to do over this break, how quickly can you start seeing that he kind of picked up everything you wanted him to do when he was by himself?
Every player is different, especially at that position, at the rate of how well they do, how quickly. So I don't know. It could happen fast, like we've seen some rookies do. It could be a process to where it could be a couple of years, you know. So fast or a couple of years, somewhere in between. So we'll see. You know, that's on him. He's got to do it.
You talked about Vaughn wanting more, but with Chuck, what have you seen that stood out, and what do you want to see from him as you get into the season for Bradley?
I think Bradley is in a good spot. I do think he's really a guy that we could use and be good in this defense. He's a good edge setter. He's versatile. We can play him inside. He's a very reliable player for a young guy, even when he's dropping, you know, which is rare for those guys that come from college that primarily were defensive ends. He's mastered, maybe I shouldn't say mastered, but he's farther along dropping than most of the guys I've seen that have to make that transition. So very pleased with him.
How much can you tell about linemen on either side of the ball at this point before you're in pads?
You could tell enough, like their footwork, how quick they move. You can still tell strength, because there are some bodies hitting each other out there a little bit, and what their balance is like. You could tell a lot, but obviously the pads come on, it amps it up.
We didn't see much of Fumagalli last year, if at all, and then you're giving him some real looks here. What do you like? What do you see in him?
Well, I think I think he can be an all-around tight end. I think he can play in line. I think he can catch, run good routes, traditional tight end routes, not wide receiver type routes where tight ends are split out. And I think he can be a good tight end. Now, he's got to go do it, I think you're getting a little overboard on the good parts here. It's too soon, but let's see it happen.
Could he play H-back for you guys at all?
Yeah, he's got versatility. You mean H-back, like line up like a fullback?
Yeah.
I don't know that yet. We'll see.
Thank you very much, Coach.
Okay.